This part is in continuation of the previous two parts of Indigo, an excerpt from the biography of the life of Mahatma Gandhi by Louis Fisher. In the first two parts, we learned how Gandhiji's fearless crusade to fight the issues of sharecroppers of Champaran who were forced to grow indigo, the conflict between the oppressed and oppressor, gave courage to sharecroppers. Gandhiji's sustained efforts to secure justice for the farmers was opposed by the authorities. But Gandhiji proved that he was not scared of the British officers who tried to bully him. He was not intimidated by the officials moved to appear in the court. Gandhiji's passive resistance, respect for law, and most importantly, respect for the law of conscience tilted the balance in favor of Gandhiji. Gandhiji's visit to Champaran proved a turning point in the lives of poor, fear-stricken peasants due to sustained efforts of Gandhiji. Four lengthy interviews with Sir Advocate, the Lieutenant Governor, an official inquiry was set up to look into the cases of indigo sharecroppers. Gandhiji and lawyers conducted a detailed study into sharecroppers' sufferings. Interrogations about 10,000 peasants were noted. Other related documents, evidences were collected. Champaran witnessed energetic activities of investigations and protests of landlords. The commission that had Gandhiji as the sole representative of sharecroppers consisted of landlords and government representatives. During the inquiry, Gandhiji presented a heap of evidences in favor of indigo sharecroppers. The landlords agreed to pay compensation. Peasants expected full repayment, but Gandhiji asked for only 50%. But the landlords offered only 25% as they wanted to drag the legal battle of sharecropping. Gandhiji, who was far-sighted and discreet, agreed to get 25% just to break the deadlock. Gandhiji knew that the financial benefit that peasants got through the settlement was less significant in comparison to the spirit of liberation they achieved. The peasants were made to understand how they gained rights and a voice, and also freedom from their fear of the cruel British system. As a result, the landlords were forced to bow to law and had to surrender money. British landlords abandoned the estates and sharecropping practice disappeared. Gandhiji had come to Champaran on the request of Rajkumar Shukla. His visit to Champaran continued till the legal matter relating to sharecropping was settled. But Champaran episode acquired multi-dimensional proportions. Everything changed after Gandhiji's visit. Gandhiji was never satisfied with only political or economic solutions. He wanted to rectify the cultural and social backwardness in Champaran. He appealed for teachers and social workers to serve at Champaran. Mahadev Desai, Narhari Parekh, two of Gandhi's disciples, and their wives volunteered for the work. Many other volunteers arrived from Bombay, Pune, and other distant parts of the land. Gandhiji and his family were surprised to see the backwardness of Champaran villages. Kasturbai taught the ashram rules on personal cleanliness and community sanitation to the villagers. Devdas, Gandhiji's youngest son, arrived in Champaran to teach in primary school. Primary schools were opened in 6 villages. Gandhiji also worked towards improving the health conditions and arranged for a doctor volunteer his services for 6 months. The doctor prescribed 3 basic medicines for all diseases, like castor oil, quinine, and sulfur ointment. Women were also advised on sanitation and hygiene by Kasturbai. Gandhiji was diligent. While his stay in Champaran, he worked religiously to keep things organized at ashram. Regular instructions to understand financial accounts and sanitations were sent through mail to the ashram. The Champaran episode wasn't an act of open resistance. Gandhiji's untiring efforts were directed to alleviate the sufferings of poor peasants, to promote self-reliance, to mold a new, free and self-reliant atmosphere. Gandhiji's approach was holistic. His commitment was to his countrymen, not to a concept or idea. All his sympathies, endeavors were focused on day-to-day problems of masses. Gandhiji believed that a man is capable of much more than he thinks. He wanted everyone to leave the comfort zone, unlimit oneself, and strive to achieve the goal. This principle of Gandhiji is evident through Charles Andrews' incident. Charles Andrews, an English pacifist who opposed war and violence, was on visit to Champaran. He was a devoted follower of Gandhiji. His help was sought by the lawyers to fight the system which was opposed by Gandhiji because he didn't want to win his fight with the help of an Englishman. This could reveal that Indians were weak and lacked self-reliance. These incidents focus upon Gandhiji's charisma to mobilize crowd. His efforts put an end to the system of sharecropping, and Champaran was a turning point as it prepared the ground for future movements like civil disobedience movement and freedom of India. Thus, we learn that Indigo gives a first-hand account of how the leadership qualities of Gandhiji to secure justice awakened the conscience of thousands and with strength of conviction brought positive results to breathe in free India.